guys, Andrew from Street Machine here at Valvoline Raceway for the media launch of the 2017-2018 Speedway season. Today we'll get to meet Speedway legend Max Dumesny and watch as three-time Bathurst 1000 champion Garth Tander has his first crack at driving a 900 horsepower sprint car. If we're really lucky, we'll get to climb into a two-seat sprint car for a hot lap around the track. Today with Max Dumesny, who is fair to say a bit of a legend of the sport of Speedway. Max, talk us through your career and give us the highlights.
Basically, I started out racing Formula 500s back in the late 70s and I won a couple of Australian championships in that, and then it was my lifetime dream to race sprint cars, so I bought myself a sprint car and went off racing sprint cars. I've done that for quite some time now. We've won 3 Australian titles and 7 World Series championships, numerous state titles and what have you, and had a bit of a go in a touring car in 1996. We also did NASCARs for a little while, won an Australian NASCAR championship. Basically, I've been back to sprint cars for the last 20 years really, and still loving it. It's great fun. The way they accelerate and hook up and you can pass cars so regularly, I just love racing them. Mechanically, they're quite simple. They're pretty much designed like an old tractor really. You just push off and off you go, and there's no rack and pinion steering. It's just a 90-degree steering box. It's a fairly basic setup, but it's a proven setup. It works quite well. They've been pretty much the same since the early 80s really. Obviously the horsepower's grown a little. Like when I first raced back in the early 80s, though, a good motor was 650 horsepower. Now a good motor is 950.
Wow.
The engines are pretty much all designed and built out of the States. They're based on a Chev engine, but I don't believe there's a shed fart in them. They're all like Rodec blocks and aftermarket heads and cranks and everything. So they're based on a Chev, but that's about it.
Yeah, sure.
They weigh about 1,475 pounds, which is about 670 kilos, I think, with the driver in them. So yeah, there's not a lot of weight.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Today is just a bit of a get-together and getting ready for the season and introducing Garth Tander to sprint cars. He's actually come down to have a bit of a sprint in one of our cars, and speak of the devil, he's just turned up.
Just jumped out of this two-seat sprint car behind me, and I got to tell you, it was amazing. It's super quick in a straight line, as you'd expect for a relatively light car with that much horsepower. What I couldn't believe was the entry speed into the turns, and the lateral Gs you're able to maintain through the turn on dirt is just otherworldly. You've got to come and have a go at this if you get the opportunity.
Trying to build up speed.
Yep.
And then just give a little bit and a little bit.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake people make is they go out there and they come off the corner and think, I just stand on the throttle and it just does everything wrong. So just roll around feeling comfortable.
Valvoline Raceway with supercar driver Garth Tander, who's fresh from his first stint in a sprint car. How was that, mate?
It was awesome. It was something I've been really keen to do for a very long time. I've known people involved with Speedway pretty much my whole racing life. I actually started racing go-karts on the dirt, so yeah, it's something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and we've never been able to stitch it all together. So I've got to thank the guys here at Valvoline Raceway, Max, Valvoline, everyone involved with giving me the opportunity, and it was cool. It was really, really cool. Everything I expected it to be and probably more, so I really enjoyed it.
I saw Max giving you a bit of a pep talk before you jumped in the car. What was his advice to you?
Oh, like his first advice was actually just don't go out there and stand on it straight away. Just go and roll around and build up the speed, certainly on that first run. So I did that. Then straight away after the first run, he came in, leaned his head in, and he says, "Go faster." So standard racer replies. Just rolling around at the start certainly helped me get my head around everything, because obviously the sensory overload's massive, and just getting used to that. And then stood on the gas for the first time, that was about what I expected, but then when I turned it, man, it really turned.
Any parallels there at all to be drawn between it and a V8 supercar?
No, not really. Actually, some of the driving stuff, I was just talking to Max afterwards, and just the way you get out of the throttle and back into the throttle is actually quite similar to some of the corners and some of the techniques that we use in the supercar. But that's it. I mean, obviously there's got a lot of power. I mean, the power to weight ratio in a sprint car is much, much higher than it is in a supercar. But the power didn't really, it was what I expected. It wasn't, didn't blow me away. But just the steering response was actually probably the main thing, just how much grip it had in the turning. So that was probably the main thing, getting used to that. And I'm sure, I was not even going close to going fast. So I'm sure as I picked the speed up, the steering would smooth out, and I'd probably get my head around that a bit more. Certainly, having had a very, very small taste of it, it's something that I'm pretty keen to have another go of.
We've had a great day here at Valvoline Raceway, and we'd really like to thank Valvoline for inviting us along. Speedway is such a fast and exciting form of motorsport. We really recommend that if you can, you get along to Valvoline Raceway and check out a round of the 2017-2018 series.